peace, love, and abundance of all things good to you, amazing, beautiful people. It's your girl V back with another episode of the Voice by V podcast. What's up? Welcome to episode 7. Welcome to episode 7. Welcome. This, y'all don't understand how this feels so phenomenal. For me, it's really a celebration. It's really a celebration because I'm really proving to myself my consistency, my devotion, what it takes to just keep going and keep building. And I'm going strong. So shout out to me, shout out to us, shout out to you for showing up for yourself today. Shout out to you for tuning in and continuously supporting. Again, the response for the podcast thus far has been amazing. There's been a lot of support, a lot of conversations that has come out of these topics that have been coming through. So I'm excited. So, welcome to episode 7 of the Voice by V podcast. Happy Friday. I hope that it has been a beautiful, blessed, abundant week for you, however, that is coming to fruition for you. For me, during this week, I chose to spend my days off in complete rest. Um, some of those days I tapped into work a little bit, did a little bit of recording here and there. But other than that, I took it easy because I understand it's eclipse season and we're in the full moon energy and we're coming on, we're still in the energy of the spring equinox, and it's just a lot of energetic um movements. I don't know. There's a lot of energy at play, and just do what it takes to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like. Like, again, if you need to sleep all day, if you want to rest all day, if you want to eat out, baby, do what you need to do. Okay, unapologetically. Just know when it's time to rest, it's time to rest. When it's time to go, it's time to go. You feel me? Like, this life is all about balance, and there is space for all of it. There's space for all parts of you in your human experience. Whatever your human body needs, whatever your soul needs, whatever your mind needs, don't deprive yourself or any part of yourself of the things that it needs, as long as it's not hurting you or anybody else. You feel me? Um, Word. So happy Friday. I hope that you are well. I hope that you feel whole. I'm affirming that you remember what it feels to be in love. I'm affirming that you experience some sweetness. I'm affirming that you feel supported, that you feel taken care of, that you feel relieved, that you can experience some ease and effortlessness in your journey, in your day. Um, and that you chilling, that you coasting, you making it do, you making it happen, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. So, word. Today I want to talk about, again, another topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, because I have been observing it in the collective for so many years, for such a long time, just having conversations, listening to podcasts, listening to people call in on podcasts or webinars or whatever. I stay in I love the comment sections on social media. So just reading the comment sections just to see eye to eye with, I guess, the average person, right? Because I keep a very small circle when it comes to, like, being close to me, when it comes to um just being in my auric field, like, okay. There's quite a bit of checks and balances in order to get close to me, and vice versa. Like, me being close to certain people, like, I don't play about that. I don't play about my energy, because I've done a lot to be able to cultivate my peace of mind, be able to establish some sort of stability, peace, joy for myself, and I don't play about it because I know everything that it took for me to build it, and I understand everything that it takes for me to sustain it. And it's fragile. It's fragile. And so being around the wrong energy, being around the wrong set of people can really delay my growth, can really just have such an energetic impact on me, and I know how sensitive I am. So, I'll tap into certain areas of pop culture. I'll tap into certain areas on social media again just to test, just to get the temperature of like what is happening in the world, right? And so when I do this, this is something that I've noticed again over the years. And what I want to talk about is stop asking for permission. Okay? Stop asking for permission. So let's get into how this has come up for like how I've been observing this in recent years. I would listen into a podcast, right? And the host will have, like a guest section where guest callers can call in or send their questions in or whatever, and it'll be like, is it okay if I do XYZ? Say it's like a metaphysical topic, because I do tune into a lot of like metaphysical webinars, content, um, podcasts, YouTube channels, and that's usually the topic, right? On like how to ground or how to do something in your spiritual practices or just like ancient knowledge or some shit like that. And most people will be so concerned about getting it right from the guest's perspective or point of view. So it's like, what do I do during the full moon? Can you give us some rituals that we can do? Or um is it okay if we XYZ? Or what is your advice on how to best approach this situation? And I get it. Like, I get asking questions if you are genuinely curious about something. I understand asking questions if you are unsure about how to approach something in your life. I understand the concept of getting advice, but like maybe I'm just a little bit biased because I'm a person who I rely so much on self. I don't know what I guess I'm lucky and I'm really fortunate in my life to have always had this sense of self. And so before I go to an outside source, and this is me personally, I understand that everybody's not like me and vice versa. But me personally, I have a history just in my own journey of consulting with self first to see and to feel out what energetically aligns before I go to an outside source, another human being, to say, should I do this or should I do that? Even in my business journey, and I've recognized this in having conversations with other aspiring entrepreneurs who may have not yet stepped out into um full-time entrepreneurship yet, or may not have fully stepped into launching their business ideas. They'll come to me and be like, yo, should I do this? Or like, what should the name of my business be? Or do you like this or this? And it's like, again, like, I understand the space of getting a second opinion, but we as a collective, like as individuals, everyone needs to consult with themselves first and be solid in their own solutions before going out to the collective and going out to other people to seek the answers of what they think they should do. Okay. And I think this is rooted in two things, but the main thing is like not wanting to take responsibility and accountability and control of one's life and situation. Why? Because with responsibility, accountability, and control of your own life, of your own decisions, of your own choices, comes the liability, right? So if I am deciding to do something over my life, then I have to accept the consequences or the rewards that comes with that action, no matter what comes with it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take full accountability. I'm gonna take responsibility and control over this situation. Bet whatever comes with it, I'm ready to accept that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But the problem is we have been conditioned and indoctrinated in such a way that we want to relinquish power and control, our own power and control, and submit that to someone else because it's easier for an outside party, it's easier for the government, it's easier for an institution to decide my fate because then when something goes wrong, I can place blame on them. And that's fucked up. Okay, that is really, really, really a screwed up way to go about your life. Because even in that case, if you're assigning power and control for someone to make decisions over your life don't operate in a way where as an adult, as you progress through life, that you're completely absolved of the consequences of what you decided to do, whether or not someone advised you to do it, or what, or whether or not you can place the blame. It doesn't matter. Like, life just genuinely does not absolve you of dealing with the consequences or dealing with what comes with doing what you decided to do or doing what you were advised to do. Okay. And so asking for permission is also rooted in needing validation. And that's, again, something that I've encountered. Of course, I'm human, and I was just brought up in this climate. However, that's not something, again, it's something that I have experience with naturally as a human being, but at the same time, it's not something that I readily go to. Like, again, I consult with self and say, hey, does this feel good? What do you want to do? What feels good to you? Most times, what feels good to me is doing nothing. With doing nothing. Like, when it comes to making business decisions or when it comes to like spiritual practices and stuff like that, like, I stick to what the fuck I know until I feel comfortable. And I think it's also you being able to give yourself permission to stay where you're at and operate on your own timeline until you feel ready to move forward, because it's your life. It's your life. And this rhetoric that we have been subscribing to, that our life has to look a certain way at a certain age, and we got to acquire this amount of assets, and our business needs to look like this, and our spirituality needs to be like this, and our body needs to be like this, and our health regimen needs to be like this. And it's like, yo, if you don't begin living your fucking life for yourself, you're never going to feel fulfilled. You're always going to feel a void. And that is just the truth. That is just the fucking truth. And that's what a lot of human beings are experiencing. So when if you find yourself continuously asking the next person, someone that you look up to, someone that you can say, yo, I respect them. I respect their journey. I respect how they show up. I respect, the success that I see them have in business. I respect their transformational journey. I respect how they lost weight. I respect, we see resonance, and we look up to certain people that we feel like met the goals that we want to attain ourselves. And that is a beautiful thing, but we need to master the balance of looking up to someone and then trying to be someone. Okay? And that difference shows up in the type of questions that we ask. It's not a matter of, okay, you can ask someone like, how did you get from point A to point B? Like, how did you reach the success of, accomplishing that goal? And you can definitely ask someone for their process. But if you find that you are trying to adapt their process step by step and do exactly what they did in order to get the results that they got, You are putting yourself in a very compromising situation, because the reality is that you are not them, they are not you. Everyone has a different timeline, everyone has a different background, everyone has a different foundation, everyone is going to have different results. And everyone's life is not going to look the same. So you are already setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. And that is so unfair to you. That is the most self compromising thing you can do to yourself. And it's not fair. And so we need to stop asking for permission. Yo, should I do this? Is the best thing for me? Like I have a homegirl who's constantly asking me, you know, business questions. And it's like, baby, if you don't just do it, like you see my success in business, or what you perceive as success, we'll say, right? You see, but all it is, the only difference between me and the next person who has not acquired these things in business or in life, or, you know, success in community and building a support system and all of these things, is that I kept going. If you have been with Veganese, if you have been following my journey, as a business owner and or as an individual, let's say from 2013, you will have seen how many times I have pivoted. I started out in business in 2019 as a vegan meal prep chef. I was having conversations with people when I started to feel burnt out, when I started to feel like, okay, what's the next thing? Because I'm tired. I am not seeing the return, the financial return. Um, on this investment, and I don't want to cut corners because I'm dealing with food. I'm dealing with feeding people. I'm dealing with nutrition. I'm feeling with a bigger purpose other than, oh, it's just good food, like fast food. Like, no, I didn't sign up to this to be for this to be in fast food. I have a mission, and that mission is to help people see that nutrition and um and nutrition, you don't have to compromise taste for nutrition. That was my main mission. Another part of my mission was to show people how easy and attainable veganism can be. It don't have to be, oh, I'm eating dry lettuce every day of my life. Like, you can cook with flavor, you can season your food. And I was showing them with a physical product. But when that physical product got too much for me and got unsustainable for me personally, I had to pivot. I had to figure out another way. And so I was having conversations with, and this is also another important point, be careful who you taking advice from, because you'll get so hungry, so thirsty for advice, because again, you don't want to take full responsibility and accountability for making your own decisions. You would rather place the blame because someone advised you to do it. So you get so thirsty for advice and so thirsty for having people tell you what you should do that you start drinking from every cup, and this is how you get poisoned. So be careful from taking advice from so many different sources, especially when they are people who have not achieved what you, one, already achieved, and two, what you want to achieve. You can't just ask anybody. And I noticed that about people too. They are just so thirsty for, they are so scared to assume responsibility of their own actions and take control of their own lives, that they will literally ask Tom, Dick, and Harry, anybody that they can encounter, if they should do something. How does this look? Is it this or this? When they can really just sit and consult with themselves and consult with spirit and consult with God, universe, whoever their ancestors, whether they know this or not, you can literally sit with yourself and lay out the options, lay out all the options of your business ideas, what you want your business name to be, what you want your brand colors to be, what you want your logo to be. You know what I mean? And sit with it. You're going to come up with something, and if it's wrong, guess what? You can change. You can change. So when I got to the point of understanding that I could not show up for veganese in the way that I was currently showing up because it was leading to my physical, spiritual, and mental burnout, and that I needed to pivot, I allowed myself to pivot. And what did I do? Before I even hired a business coach, I understood that I can do the same thing in a different way. But I was then going to need help to do that because I have not seen this before. I don't know. I know that my natural conversation with folks are like I noticed that I'm naturally already mentoring people just by the baseline conversations that I have every day with everyday people, right? I understood that I had a lot of knowledge of this type of lifestyle because at that point I had been living it and embodying it for a total of 5-6 years. So I understood you have to then be able to assess your strengths and your opportunities. And so I knew my strengths. I knew that what I was doing was I was naturally advising people. I was already teaching people about veganism. I was already verbatim telling people how to meal prep. I was already telling people and instructing people how to look out for dangerous ingredients in their groceries at their local grocery stores. I was naturally giving people meal ideas and ways that they can incorporate fruits and veggies and waters and vitamins and minerals into their diets. I was already doing this, but now I needed to figure out a sustainable and organized way to pivot this into a business model. And so here's where you get to hire aligned help. You don't, I didn't just at that point start asking my sister, asking my best friend, and people who don't have any experience in building a vegan business or building a business at all. I could have went to everyone around me like, yo, what you think about this? All right, let's figure it out. No, here's where you get smart and you invest into help with someone or some organization who is aligned in what you're trying to do because you've seen their success, right? You've seen their success in this thing. And so this is where you have to be smart. So, like, stop asking for permission and give yourself the opportunity to figure it the fuck out. You have to allow yourself to even get to that place of pivot. You need to allow yourself to bump your head, to stumble along the way. And you also have to know that, baby, listen, this is important. No one has it figured out. Every single day, every single person that you know and observe, I don't care how much money you think they have, I don't care what car they drive, I don't care what home they live in, I don't care how much you see them travel, I don't care you see them living out the country. Every single human being is figuring the fuck out in real time. Yes, everyone has something to show you and teach you. Yes, you also have something to show and teach others, but we're talking about focus and we're talking about alignment. We're talking about how to get exactly where you want to go and how to exactly get the results that you want in the field that you want. And so you need to have the right people there. You need to have the right team there with the right set of skills, with the right set of advice. And you also need to know that you need to invest in this. But you got to get focused first before you start asking everybody. And now you're just filled up with mixed opinions, right? Now everybody knows too much. Now there's too many hands in the pot. And what happens energetically is that you become clouded. Your judgment then becomes clouded. And then guess who you can't hear? You can't hear yourself. So you have to get to a point where you trust. It always comes back down to trust. Trust yourself. Trust in the fact that you don't know, but you have access to know. If you quiet, if you create some silence, limit the amount of voices coming in toward you. And you can do this. You can do this. You can absolutely just stop asking everybody for everything and tune in to the inner voice, which is always going to be the right answer for you in the moment. And yes, maybe it turns into the not best answer, right? So maybe you decide to do something and you notice down the line, whether it's 2 days or 2 months or 2 years, that this just no longer works. You think you don't have permission to pivot. You think you don't have permission to change your mind and change your business model. You think you don't have permission to change your rituals. You think you don't have permission to change how long you've been meditating and what type of breath work you was doing. You think you don't have permission to change the type of yoga flow that you were doing. You think you don't have permission to change your workout. You think you don't have permission to change your diet. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You think you don't have permission to change. Is that the problem? You have permission. And you better give yourself permission, because you do have permission to change. Nothing is fixed. We are constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. The world around us is constantly changing. I talked about it in a previous episode that the only thing constant in this life is change. So you can't be so scared of change that you think once you make a decision over your life that it's fixed. And if it's wrong, then you need to condemn yourself and that you're the worst thing that ever happened to you. Like, are you shitting me? It's kind of silly, right? But again, when I hear people ask, even me, what should I be eating? What should I get it. I get it because I am an expert in this field. However, I do what works for me. So I can advise you based on what works for me. I can provide a suggestion based on what has worked for me and what has not worked for me, and I can tell you those things as well. And yes, you have permission to try it. But if it does not resonate, if I tell you something, if I tell you I eat a whole lot of berries, right? Berries have a high content of antioxidants and it's also a really good source of hydration for me. They're very versatile. Like I have it in a smoothie. I can have it in a fruit bowl. I can top my breakfast waffles with it, whatever it is. And you just don't like berries. But I'm over here praising berries and you really don't like berries. You can try it and maybe just try it from a different perspective. You say, you know what, I'm gonna try berries. Because if she's praising it and I know that she, you know, has a long experience in this type of lifestyle, and if they're good for me, maybe I'll give it a try. But after the second or third try, you still don't like it. You're not gonna force yourself, right? You're gonna be like, okay, berries don't work for me. Maybe you get on Google and start looking up different alternatives, right? Maybe you discover pomegranate seeds and you're like, okay, these are, it's kind of similar benefits, but I like these. Like, you can definitely take suggestions from people, again, who have accomplished the things that you want to accomplish. But if they cease to work for you, you don't have to stick with it. So stop asking people, what should you do? It really irks me. And I often don't encounter it in real time. Honestly, this is something I see a lot on the internet. I hear a lot on the internet. And it intrigues me so much because I would never. I could never. I could never. I really could never. Like, I'm not asking anybody what I should do. Um, like, that's just not my approach to gaining knowledge and advice. I'll definitely ask someone how a particular course of action has benefited their lifestyle, how it's benefited their success in a particular thing. um what would they recommend? What are some sources that they can recommend that I can learn more about that specific topic? You know, just so that I can, like, just so that I can feed myself with it. And I think this is also rooted in self-reliance. Okay, self-sustainability. It's rooted in self. It's rooted in trust. You got to be able to trust yourself. And so the same thing goes for like coaching. I had one of my client sister friends ask me to talk about this. And so I lightly hit on it because I think it's relevant here. It goes to coaching too. You sign on to a program, you attend a retreat, um, you hire a mentor, you join a container, whether it's a spiritual business container or a group coaching program on whatever it is, and someone is teaching something, and there's like a culture, right? There's a culture in this group. There's a way of doing things, there's a way of performing things, there's a way of attaining specific results, and something about it just does not resonate with you. And the first thing you have to tell yourself is that that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay that their way does not resonate with me. That is perfectly okay. I am unique. I am my own. I'm walking my own journey. I am going at my own pace. It is not fast. It is not slow. It is my pace, and that is okay. You need to affirm this to yourself, because the world will have you thinking, social media will have you thinking, the internet will have you thinking that, again, your journey, community sometimes will have you thinking that my journey needs to look like theirs. In order for my hair to grow, in order for me to adopt that aesthetic, in order for me to travel to these places, I got to do what they doing. And there has to be a balance. You have to be your own system of checks and balances. You have to be so self-aware that you can recognize when you doing too motherfucking much of what they are doing. When it's not in alignment, when it doesn't resonate. You got to be able to check yourself and say, "Hey sis, hey, 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 reel it back, reel it back, reel it back." Right? There's too much resistance here. Why is there so much resistance? If you're experiencing resistance with moving forward in a particular community, in a particular way of doing things, going through a particular advice that someone or a group of people gave you, you got to reel it back. And you just have to have a simple talk with yourself, and you got to say, okay, it's okay. It's okay if I don't make the $500,000 by the end of the year, like this program promised I was gonna make. You know what I mean? Like, you just really have to affirm yourself that you're on your own time. Because in today's climate, it's so popular to feel rushed or to buy into the rush. And that's kind of what people who want to exit the so-called rat race and like establish sovereignty for themselves and be, you know, on their own time, and the free spirits who want to adapt this lifestyle of living off the grid and being on their own and divorcing the systems and all of this, like, that's a part of it. A huge part of it is unsubscribing from being on other people's timing and fully walking in your own time, fully walking in your own journey, fully walking at your own pace. And if a part of your success means waking up today with a roof over your head, in a clean bed, with clean clothes, having clean running hot water to brush your teeth, wash your face, and bathe in, having electricity flowing through your home, having your kids fed and taken care of, having loved ones around you to hug you and support you and tell you that they love you, having a support system of friends and people who love you, supporting you and rooting for you. If that is your fucking definition of success and that is what you attain today, then you are successful and you are enough. What are we talking about? Everything else comes from that foundation. And if you will affirm to yourself, if you would just adjust maybe your definition of success and what success looks like and feels like to you, and you can make it things that are not only attainable, but that you are currently experiencing. Again, like some of the things that I already named, many of us have those beautiful civil liberties. And if we can adapt a definition of success that reflects being alive, being healthy, feeling fulfilled, taken care of, having love and support around us, and then we can match that to, oh shit, my reality already looks like that, then you are walking in a vibration of success. And if you were walking in a vibration of success and you already believe that and know that to be true, then more success will, you'll meet more success, you'll meet more opportunities to feel rich, prosperous, thankful, abundant, opulent. You will meet more of those experiences because you're already walking in success, simply because you've adjusted your idea of what success is. So I think when people are asking, what should I do? Where should I go? How should I do this? What rituals should I do? First of all, you asking other human beings what you should do is a huge sign of insecurity. It's a huge sign of distrust in yourself. And what you can do instead of that is spend more time being comfortable in solitude. You need to spend more time with yourself. If you find that you are constantly asking people outside of you, and I don't care who these people are, I don't care if they are coaches and mentors and people that you hired and invested in. I don't care if they are, you know, people like me who have, like, let's say, establish a sort of success in a particular niche, right? So y'all know I've been vegan for damn near a decade, and I know all things vegan, and I have, advice on all spectrums of veganism and what it takes to embody this lifestyle. I don't care for somebody like me who has a very niche experience or expertise. I don't care who it is. If you find that you are asking too much from anyone outside of you, what you should do, and particular actions that you should partake in to achieve a level of success, or to get out of something that you're experiencing, or to stop feeling this way, or to become more healthy, more wholesome, more this, more that, you got to check yourself. And you got to create a space where before you go to open your mouth to ask another person, you need to be asking yourself. Literally. And I don't care if you say, but my mind is blank and I can't, and I don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know. Well, start there. Start there with a different affirmation, because I don't know is an affirmation, and you're affirming to yourself that you don't know. And if you keep telling yourself that you don't know, that you'll never know. And you'll never tune into the frequency of the all-knowingness that already exists within you. Stop playing. You do know. If you're not an expert on you, who is supposed to be an expert on you? If you don't know shit about you, who the fuck is supposed to know about you? But then we get mad at the governments and the systems and the in the groups, the so-called elite groups, and the people who we say who are so sinister, that hold us back and steal our culture, and they know our truth, and they know how powerful we are, and this is why they want to oppress us. So why wouldn't you do all it takes to learn you? Why wouldn't you take all it takes to sit with yourself and get the original intel on who the fuck you are and how powerful you are? Huh? Like, stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. You get mad when they know your brilliance, when they know how powerful you are, when they know that melanin is so powerful and abundant and all of these things. This is why I kind of stopped talking about those things. It's not that I can't talk about it. It's just like it's so irrelevant to me because the power don't lie in their hands. I have the power. I know me. I have access to 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 me. Stop playing with me. And you mean to tell me all I gotta do is sit with myself? And all I gotta do is sit silent? That's all I have to do. All I have to do is breathe. And all I have to do is get comfortable with being with myself, with being in solitude, with being silent, with being still. You mean to tell me that's all I have to do? You damn right I'm gonna do that shit. To learn who the fuck I am, to harness my own power, to be able to answer my own motherfucking questions. Because the question and the answer is on the same spectrum. It's just on two different parts of the spectrum, but it's on the same line, the question and the answer. So if you have the ability, if you have the curiosity to ask the question, trust and believe you already have the answer. But you keep trying to go outside of you to get the answer for the answer that already lies within you, for the question that you posed. If you ask the question, you inherently have the answer. Stop playing. That person is going to have an answer for you. Don't get it twisted. There are very intelligent, intuitive human beings that you have access to, especially with the internet. So they're going to have an answer for you. But why would you want someone else's answer to a question about yourself and your own life and pertaining to your own decisions? You have to lean more on yourself. And that, I used to say all the time, the world would heal and be perfect overnight if everyone took accountability and responsibility for their own shit. That's it. If we all just took accountability, responsibility, and control over ourselves and apologize when we know we're wrong and continue to move forward in faith in ourselves and create the space to sit in our own solitude, to be able to answer our own questions and to be able to guide ourselves to the next aligned action, baby. The beautiful thing is that there are already so much of us who are operating on this frequency, and I feel like we're keeping the balance. We're maintaining the balance between the atrocities of the world and whatnot, and like we are on the spectrum of maintaining that balance, right? Keeping some type of sanity and poise in the world. Like, just being a vessel for divine intelligence and goodwill to continue to flow through. Because we gonna need it. Okay, we gonna need it. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I said everything. I hope I did. Cause I hate signing off of an episode like, damn, I probably should have added this. Um, but please let me know if you have any questions, if this resonated at all. You can comment below um on YouTube, and you can also, if you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple or any other streaming platform, you could definitely rate the podcast and drop a question, a comment, to how this resonated, to how you liked this episode. I'd really appreciate that. And also, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram at _Veganese. That's VEGANEASE. Go ahead and explore my website at veganesellc.com. And yeah, my affirmation for you is that you trust yourself. You learn to really trust yourself. Um, I don't know how to tell you to do that other than create more time with yourself. Don't be afraid to sit with yourself. Don't be afraid to like Cranes in the Sky by Solange just popping into my head. Like she talks about trying to read it away, trying to sex it away, trying to drink it away. And it's like, don't do that, baby. Like sit with your sober mind in whatever emotions that you feel in. Um, whatever realness that's happening for you, learn to sit in it, and it's okay. This too shall pass. As you sitting in it, tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself. This too shall pass. I am okay. Affirm to yourself like, I am okay, I am safe. As long as you look around you in your physical vicinity and you don't see any danger, that's any dangerous threats posed, baby, you are safe, you are stable, you are alive, you are breathing. I am okay, I am grateful. Affirm to yourself that I am grateful. I am grateful to have access to my physical body. I'm grateful that the cells in my body, the trillions and quadrillions of cells in my body, are working in perfect harmony with my health and total well-being. I am so grateful to be of sound mind, body, and spirit. I am grateful for my physical, mental, and emotional freedom. I am grateful to be as beautiful as I am. I am grateful to have the gift of voice and the gift of gab as I do. I am grateful to be able to speak, to be able to hear, to be able to move and operate my 10 fingers and toes. I am grateful to be able to have the gift of physical mobility, to be able to move my body in any capacity. I'm grateful to have at least one person that I can hug and hold and tell them that I love them, and vice versa. I am grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to experience safety and stability. I'm grateful to have even $1 to my name. I'm grateful to have the creativity to build and destroy. I am grateful to have love on my side. I'm grateful to experience peace. I'm even when it seems like boredom, even if it seems like wow, nothing exciting in my life is happening, probably because I'm at peace. I am grateful to have clothes on my back. I am grateful to have choice of food. I'm grateful to have any form of nutrients to feed my body, my mind, and my soul. I'm grateful to be able to listen to this podcast on a technological device. I'm grateful for Wi-Fi and the internet. I'm grateful for the beautiful prana that I'm able to breathe, that fills my lungs with light energy, that fills my lungs with the life force energy. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to have agency and choice over my life. I'm grateful to be able to know that I can fill my brain, my body, my cells with positive affirmations as instructions to create the life that I deserve. I am grateful. Affirm to yourself that I am grateful. When I first started out with affirmations and positive self talk, the only two affirmations that I would say to myself is I am grateful and I am love, because love is the strongest frequency, and gratitude. Having an attitude of gratitude will literally get you anything and everything that you desire and deserve, and it will also help you sustain what you already have. So I am grateful and I am loved. That's all you have to tell yourself. So when you are sitting in this dark space, even if it's a really dark, literally a dark space, and you have a lot of negative thoughts and you're going through rumination and you may be feeling feelings of depression, I am telling you, all you have to do is sit still, practice. It's probably not going to happen on the first time. It's probably not going to happen on the second time. Shit gonna get dark, shit gonna get ugly, shit gonna be very uncomfortable. It's gonna be I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm telling you from a point of testimony, how many times I have sat in this shit, how many times I have gone through this something that put me in that space, and I prayed myself through it, and I didn't pray myself through the traditional form of prayer that we think we got to sit open with a Bible. Now, baby, if that works for you, if that happened, if that worked for your ancestors, by all means, tap into that as well. For me personally, prayer looked like I am grateful, I am loved. Prayer looked like affirming to myself that I am safe. right now. I am safe. I am breathing and I'm thankful for this breath. And sometimes, guess what? Sometimes you can't even positive affirm it away. Sometimes that shit don't work neither. But what always works is sitting in it and allowing it to pass. And in a series of doing this, you get better at it. And this is why life is all about practice. So you have to practice sitting in your solitude. You have to practice asking yourself the questions that you are tempted to ask others. I promise you, if you could just hold out, maybe write down the question when you want to ask it. Maybe don't ask it at that time to that person, or find a reframe, find a different way to ask it. That's not what should I do. Maybe what do you suggest if so and so, or what did you do to get over that hump, or what did you do, right? But then I would propose that you write down a question that you attempted to ask someone in terms of instructions of what you should do, and then create 5 to 10 minutes or however long. Set out a specific time frame in your day, or maybe at the bottom of your day before you go to sleep, and ask your spirit these questions. You may not have the answers, but especially if you ask these questions to yourself, to your highest spirit, to God, source energy, universe, your ancestors, you pose it, you go to sleep. Maybe it'll come to you in a dream. Maybe it'll come to you in your sleep. Maybe it'll resonate somewhere in your subconscious, and somewhere along the line, the answer will be revealed to you. And this is not a hard science, but again, this is suggestions to get you comfortable with posing questions to yourself and being open to receiving the answer through source energy. Because once you ask a question and you pose it out into the universe, then the second part is being open to receiving the answer. And the second part is trusting and letting it go and listening, keeping your eyes and ears open to receive that message. And that's why keeping your head on a swivel is the greatest protection ever. Because you always going to see something that resonates with something that you asked. Okay? So, I don't know. I hope I did this justice. That was on my heart, and I hope this helped somebody. Just affirming love, peace, abundance, opulence, insane, like gratitude, as my girl Abby would say, gratitude, peace that don't even make sense, peace that makes no sense. So much peace and comfort to you during this time. I know it's a very highly energetic time, and things could be going crazy or whatever, but stay grounded. This is an invitation to ground. And some of the ways that I ground is I literally sit on the ground. I, thank God that the weather is breaking. Maybe you could go outside to your backyard or your local park and put your bare feet in the soil. Um, Maybe get some grounding crystals, eat grounding foods, like root vegetables such as potatoes, beets, onions, um, radishes. Say grounding affirmations. You can Google those. Do grounding practices such as yoga, dance, move your body. Tap into your root chakra. Do things that are associated with those characteristics. Um, and I'm just rattling these things off. You don't have to do any of them. And you definitely don't have to do all of them. You understand what I'm saying? You can ask your spirit, ground. I am grounded. You can affirm to yourself as simple. You can erase everything that I just said and just, I am grounded. My feet are on the ground. I am grounded. I am here. One of the best ways to be grounded is to be present. So I am here. Are you here? Are you present? Are you present with yourself? Are you here with yourself? Are you intentionally breathing? Right? Are you breathing? Okay. I love you. I love you. If no one told you today, I love you. I love us so fucking much. And this is why I'm so grateful to do what I do. Without me, without you, there would no be me. There would be no me, honestly. I wouldn't have a community to talk to converse with. to uplift and uphold. And so I'm grateful for my community. I'm grateful for you constantly tuning in. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for you showing up for yourself. Trust and believe the world needs you. We need your presence. We need your gifts. We need you to be in your highest, because a happier, healthy you means that there's a healthier, happier, more peaceful, and abundant world for me to exist in, because we are here co creating this experience, sharing this space together. And it's better when we're all healthy. It's better when we are in love. It's better when we are aware. It's better when we can help one another. So I'm affirming so much love to you, so much gratitude, so much peace, so much total wellness and health. And I'll see and speak to you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm signing out. Peace.